Hey guys, we're the substitutes. I'm Gaurav, that's Omar, and today we're updating you on Manchester United's transfer window. A lot's happened. So far, Antony's come in for 100 million since we last recorded after the Casemiro signing. Check out the video for the last recording in the description below. And last time, Omar was a little upset United's transfer activity. So Omar, after the Antony signing for 100 million with add-ons, how are you feeling about United's transfer activity?
Look, I still feel the same way. Like, it's good that we've gotten this many players in. I think the Glazers have spent because there was a lot of protest. But I also am unhappy with the amount of money that we spent, 215 million pounds. And I think Antony is an example of us paying 85 million pounds for him, and we could have gotten him for about 60 earlier in the window if we had just acted properly. I don't understand it, to be honest. Like, we got Ericsson on a free, we got Malacia, we signed him well, we waited until the deal was almost done, and then we jumped in. Martinez was a bidding war. We paid 57 million for him, or 47 million for him. It just feels like even Casemiro, we went up front with 70 million for a 30-year-old. I think we could have gotten him for 50. So I just feel that we've completely overspent. We needed players, but I just think that we're gonna suffer later on down the line. Like, the 20 million here, another 20 million there, that makes a difference down the line. That's like a player or two if you buy young players as well. So it's I'm not happy. I'm not happy with how we've gone about it, personally.
All
I'm
right.
happy with the players, just not happy with how we've done it.
All right. Now, okay, let's focus on the player a little bit, right? Statistically speaking, what's very clear is that this guy is hell bent on making a success of himself on potential. He's got so much potential.
Yeah.
But the stats also show that he's not the finished article. Is this transfer fee too much to pay for potential?
I mean, look, yes, I think so, but I also think, like, I think personally, I think he's worth about 40 million, but there's always that United tax. We could have gotten him for 60, right? And that's what we should have paid him for. There is a United tax, and we created it ourselves because Ed Woodward just went, "I will give you everything," right? Like, I will give you my soul, my body, everything, and here's 30 coins of silver. Like, that's how we just have done business in the past 10 years, right? So yeah,
Here's
it's a
my
lot of money.
dog. Here's my
Yeah,
cat.
exactly. Everything that we can give, we'll give you. And on top of that, like, we'll give him really high wages so that nobody wants to buy him later on, right? Like, that's just how we do business, right? Like, we still
Really
got Phil
anchor
Jones
the
that's got.
signing in.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like, we'll put it as an asset, right? Like, these guys really don't understand how football works. But anyway, yeah, it's a lot of money. Look, Brazil absolutely adore him. They think he's going to be a future star, right? Like, and even when he was at Ajax and he first joined, people were saying, "Watch out for this kid. He looks pretty impressive." Now, his stats aren't amazing in the Eredivisie. He in 2021 he had 9 goals, 8 assists, which is not bad. In 2022 he had 8 goals, 4 assists, so a slight dip, but Eric Ten Hag really likes him. Eric Ten Hag thinks that there is a real player in there, and we might be wrong, but, like, I still think we've just gone about it the wrong way. It's like getting Benjamin Sesko. We could have gotten him for 3 million like 2 years ago, and then this year he was going for like 70 or 60 million, and that's just the way United do business. And now that he's gone within the Red Bull group, he's going to be 120 million next year. So that's just how we do business. And yeah. I have
Speaking,
another point, but I know you're going to ask me the question. So you go ahead, because this
speaking,
is where my next rant.
speaking of how you do
Uh,
business, I have to poke the bear a little bit. Now, look,
this
I
is
saw this guy in preseason, and
He only had one goal,
I I know,
but
but I thought he was fantastic. I thought Garner was something to look out for. He had all the qualities of a fantastic, young, energetic, aware, positionally responsible midfielder. And I really liked his first touch and how he prepared himself for his first touch. You guys have spent 215 million pounds, as you said. and you've let go of Joel Garner just recently. I mean, it was almost breaking news. What does this say to you about United's long-term vision, and how do you feel, buddy?
I hate it, honestly. I think we're a club that really prides itself on youth. And James Garner has been a player that I've watched, like on the under 18. I've watched over the last few years, right? Like he's been at the club for a long time, and he just looked. Everyone talked about him. He was at Nottingham Forest last year, and he really lit up the championship. And that's a tough league for a young kid, right? Like so. We have good players coming through, right? We have Garner, we have Zidane Iqbal, we have Charlie Savage, and I really thought that could be a midfield three, but you've got to play someone, right? Now, the way I look at it, right, is a really short-term vision by the club. You're selling James Garner for 15 million and you're gonna buy him for 90 million in 6 years, right? When he's finally made it. We'll just Paul Pogba the whole situation, right? Like you have so many midfielders at the club, right? I'm probably going to miss a few. That's how many we have, right? We have McTominay and Fred. I can't ever forget them, right? We've got Bruno. We've got Donny van de Beek. We've got Ericsson. We've got Casemiro, right? They've got six midfielders, right? There's six, eights, and tens, right? You can make that argument. Fred, fair enough, played out of position sometimes, but like sometimes is a headless chicken, right? Like they probably want the Casemiro link with Brazil. That's international football, but whatever. That's what they're going for. McTominay, look, the guy is United through and through. I get it, right? Like he plays with his heart on his sleeve and he loves the club. And he's a young player, so I have a soft spot for him, but he's been at the club for years and he's not been consistent. Like you can sell him for like 15, 20 million as well, by the way. You could actually get that money from him and invest in youth, right? This is what I feel. I don't understand. Was there something behind the scenes? Was something that he did? I don't understand it, but like this kid's one for the future. Like every Bruno Fernandes last year is like, I can't wait to play with James Garner. He actually said that, right? Like, and this is a guy who is now captain of the club in Harry Maguire's absence, right? Like he's also been our best player, not maybe last year, but like for about a year and a half, he was statistically our best player. He was our best player, and he's like telling them this is a guy to look out for. And I just think it's such short-term thinking. I this is why I look at the whole transfer window as a whole, and I just think we've overspent and we're letting players go, one player go that we shouldn't. We should be getting rid of Wan-Bissaka. We should be getting rid of Phil Jones. We should be getting rid of all of these players who just shouldn't. Should we even let go of Tellez? And that was a loan, right? Like it's just. I think it's a long time before United come back from what Ed Woodward did. Really, really, I believe he has really stained the club like with how he's paid over the top for players and how he's just given them. Jadon Sancho, by the way, do you know he's on like almost 300K a week? I think he's a 21-year-old, 22-year-old, and he
Oh
signed.
my
Like it's just
god.
like I don't understand how this happens. Like this is what I'm saying. Like it's you don't give that salary to a kid. Like you can give him like 150K, whatever, that's fine, right? But like when you put him as one of the highest earners at the club and he hasn't
That is
performed.
obscene.
Yeah, this is just the way United do business, and this is why I'm so frustrated. Like,
Oh man. I'm I'm really sorry. I think the way I can sympathize, if I could ever sympathize with a United fan, it feels like you guys have just sold your Harvey Elliott.
yeah,
So I sympathize on that level, and it's sad for you and fantastic for me.
yeah.
But
I
that's
mean,
it
look,
from us, guys.
yeah, fuck, yeah. Sorry, like,
Do you want to do you want to go on for a bit more?
no, 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 I'm good, I'm good, I'm good. I think I had a lot to say, and I still have a lot to say, but I can't.
All
I'll
right.
just go into
Look out for
depression.
part two, everyone. Like and subscribe. Give us your opinion on the Garner transfer and the Antony transfer. It's been our pleasure, and we'll see you soon. We're the substitutes.
Cheers, guys.